This is Scott McDonald. Square ball to Joe Bennett. Bennett here, the left-back, who's never scored a senior goal. Bennett still here. It's a wonderful run. It would have been some way to get that first senior goal too there, Joe Bennett. A minute to go plus added time. It's Johnny Howson. Howson's cross. Collins in there. And Sanchez Watts with a very rare sight of goal. A very rare save too in the game for Jason Steele. Ennes goes for the corner. Ennes now attacks, crosses, here's Height! He stumbled. Well, there was the chance to seal the game for Hoyt, who hasn't scored for a year. He should have done there, but here come Leeds. Hit long towards Collins, playing now as an auxiliary centre forward. Here's McCormack, steal away, Becchio! Leeds United, salvation! 90+1, Luciano Becchio with Leeds get out of jail card. 12 for the season now for Luciano Becchio. Steel brave, Becchio was simply deadly. Connolly, Ennes is there, but so too here is Sanchez Watt for Leeds United. Sanchez Watt, his cross, McCormack! Oh, what a chance! What a chance to win the game for Ross McCormack. It's a lovely cross, and this has to be 2-1. Oh, it has to be. But it's not. That should have been the turnaround complete.
Delighted we've kept our unbeaten run going. Disappointing how we played, because out of the 12 games unbeaten so far, that's the worst in terms of the quality on the ball and the tempo that we had. Maybe the third game in a short space of time compared to Middlesbrough too. Maybe didn't help us, but delighted to come through a tough game for us again today.
10 seconds before they scored, Hoyt slipped in the 6-yard box before. Hopefully he would have smashed it in the net, but never mind, that's football. You know, recently we've been losing tight games like that, and today at least we got a point. We'll have to take it and move on to the next one.
QPR had put their pre-Christmas wobble behind them with 2 festive wins in 3 days, but this trip to an informed Norwich would always be a big test for Neil Warnock's championship leaders. These teams couldn't manage a goal between them when they met in London in October, but it took less than 10 minutes for the deadlock to be broken here. Chris Martin with the run, Russell Martin following up for his first ever home goal to put Norwich ahead. In the second half, the task got even harder for the visitors. Grant Holt seemed to get the better of Matt Connolly. Down went Holt. What would referee Jonathan Moss do? That, Connolly's second red in 8 games, Warnock not impressed at all. Norwich hadn't kept a clean sheet in their previous 10 games, but finally they did when Rangers sub Patrick Agyemang missed and Paul Lambert's team held on for an impressive 3rd straight win.
We're playing the best team in the league at the minute, and I thought we were excellent. We really did. I thought we were excellent. Really, the lads that have come in that have not played for a long time, and the amount of injuries we've got, it's a monumental win.
Give Grant Holt credit. I saw the penalty he conned out of Sheffield United last week, and then I've seen the handball and the sending off today. And if he says in the papers that that's how we should do it, then I think referees should start looking at DVDs rather than laws of the game, because in my eyes it's cheating, that.
Cardiff won this corresponding fixture 6-0 last season, but manager Dave Jones was feeling the heat this time around after a run of just 1 win in 6. Only one club in the last 4 seasons have gained promotion after spending New Year's Eve in 2nd place, and Cardiff made the worst possible start. Just 3 minutes in, Brett Pitman struck. The former Bournemouth striker celebrating his return to the starting lineup with his 7th goal in as many games. Reports have linked Everton striker James Vaughan with Cardiff this week, but Michael Chopra almost reminded his manager of his goal-scoring talents, but was denied by the Post. Only Scunthorpe had won as many games on the road as Cardiff this season, but Dave Jones' side went 2 down after a fine counter-attack by the home team. Lee Johnson meeting another John Stead cross to score his 1st goal of the season. Dave Jones might have expected a response after the break, but instead it came from Bristol City. No Cardiff defender closed down Jamal Campbell-Rice, and he made them pay. And this is what it means to score your first goal since May 2009. It's now 7 goals conceded in Cardiff's last 2 matches. They dropped from 2nd place to 5th.
Massive game now against Leeds on Tuesday.
Well, every game we play, man, this was massive today. So we're just now over the halfway stage within a long season. So if you're telling me that it's going to be defined on Tuesday, then what about the rest of the games? Because I can't get out of this division on Tuesday.
Brendan Rodgers welcomed his former club Reading to the Liberty Stadium, even though the FA of Wales don't seem to know that Rodgers has moved. A recent invitation to Swansea's manager was addressed to former boss Paulo Sousa. But he's done well at his new club. Only QPR have a stronger home record, and it was another good day for the Swans, thanks to Darren Pratley's goal midway through the second half. Reading felt aggrieved not to receive a penalty when Gary Monk appeared to use his hand to dispossess Jimmy Kebe. And to add to their frustration, Simon Church had a great chance for a late leveller from Kebe's cross, but it wasn't to be, and Swansea doled out a first defeat in 9 for Reading.
I thought the referee was not very good, but, you know, that's, what can I say, it's life. He's not had a great day. You know, we've had a stonewall penalty that he missed for the handball when Jimmy Kebe crossed it, but I can't affect the refereeing.
It's been a frustrating time for Roy Keane, whose Ipswich side didn't get to play over the festive period after their fixtures succumbed to the weather. Keane said he has 2 or 3 January transfer targets in mind as Ipswich attempt to steer clear of relegation. Despite the surprise return of captain and key defender Gareth McCauley for this match, they nearly found themselves a goal down early on when Marlon King headed against the post. Coventry had lost 3 games in a row, and it was their turn to be grateful to the woodwork as Carlos Edwards tried his luck from distance. Ipswich had scored just once in their previous 3 away games, but made the breakthrough in this match a minute before half-time. Rory Fallon starting and finishing the move for his first goal since arriving on loan from Plymouth. It was direct football from Coventry that brought about their equaliser. Kieran Westwood's long ball forwards found Marlon King, who set up Freddie Eastwood for his first goal since the opening day of the season. King was again one of Coventry's most impressive performers, but his afternoon was brought to a premature end when both feet left the floor in this tackle on Darren O'Dea. It resulted in a straight red for the striker, but Coventry held on for half an hour to gain a vital point in their push for the playoffs.
It was one of Derby's 5 changes from their Forest thrashing who put the Rams ahead, Chris Porter, and it was all too much for the Preston mascot to take. The Deepdale Duck escorted from the ground following comments made to Derby keeper Stephen Bywater. The waddle of shame for a duck with form. It's not the first time this mascot has upset opponents. An appearance before the beak seems inevitable. Preston's defensive problems clearly haven't been eradicated by the removal of Darren Ferguson. Porter, having scored his first of the season, helped himself to number 2 with just 6 minutes to play. But Preston did show commendable spirit. Sean St Ledger and Callum Davidson both went close. And the match had already entered stoppage time when Steve Davis was penalised for handling the ball, and a penalty ensued. Davidson scored the spot kick to pull a goal back for the hosts, and there would be time for one final assault on the Derby goal. Adam Barton with the chance for a dramatic late equaliser, but Connor Doyle's block denied Preston a hard-earned point.
It was a turkey of a Christmas for Sheffield United. 2 defeats, 7 goals conceded, and twice charged by the FA for failing to control their players. Could the arrival of Mickey Adams prove a turning point? Stuart Gray's Burnley's new caretaker manager after the sacking of Brian Laws. And it would be a testing opening for Gray after the Blades scored inside 9 minutes through Mark Yates. But just before the half hour, Burnley were level. They've been in fine goal-scoring form at home this season, and 23 goals at Turf Moor soon became 24. when Chris Eagles tried his luck from long range. 2 goals on the stroke of half-time would turn the match in the home side's favour. Chris Iwelumo easily escaped the Blades' defence before heading home Michael Duff's free kick. With 4 defeats from the previous 5 matches, Adams has inherited a team low on confidence, and his side went into half-time 3-1 down when the ball found its way to Jay Rodriguez. Adams' half-time team talk looked to have had the desired effect. The Blades were rewarded for their endeavour with a penalty for this challenge on Ched Evans. The striker's currently in a rich vein of form, and he sent Lee Grant the wrong way for his 4th goal in as many matches. But any chances of a comeback were extinguished when substitute Stephen Thompson kept his cool to make it 4-2 with 5 minutes remaining. The post-Brian Laws era started encouragingly for Burnley. As for Adams, his immediate task is to organise the defence.
Still to come, a thriller at the City Ground, where Nottingham Forest play Barnsley. And it's a South London derby as Crystal Palace enter the Lions' Den.